So my friend's family, her parents winter in Florida. They got around to selling their house. Like they were kind of like, should we? Maybe they had been thinking about it for a few years, like climate change, we should sell this house before this house is underwater. So they called the real estate agent, like they packed up the house, they were getting ready to come home. They called the real estate agent and they were like, hey, we want to list it. And the real estate agent's like, you're almost too late. Like, there's a lot of people selling their homes in Florida right now. Like, we don't know if we're going to have buyers for all of them. Good to know you're not in a rush, but like, I cannot guarantee you it is going to flip at the rate you think it will. Good to know the same is happening in Arizona, but like, Canadians are big mad. Like, pulling our money out of the US, big mad. I don't think people realize how many Canadians cross the border. There was that hotel in Maine, the guy was on TV the other day, like 90% of his Canadian customers for the season, which represents like 82% of his total customers for the season, are not going to go to his hotel for the summer. And then I have a friend who's getting married in December in Toronto, but she was going to have her bachelorette in New York City, and he was going to have a stag do down in Vegas. And she called and she was like, yo, we canceled plans. We don't know if you're going to be up in Canada, but we'd love if you still to attend, whatever, whatever. But like, yeah, I'm guessing you could understand why we're pulling out. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, it's going to be bad. She's like, when we called New York, the woman was like, oh, we've had a few cancellations, but I kind of expected with you guys being Canadian that you were going to cancel. That seems to be the cancellations I'm getting are Canadians. And I mean, it was two suites, a couple restaurants, and then like a VIP table at a club. She got all her refunds. When they called Vegas, because the boys were gonna do like a bro shoot 'em up weekend, because apparently in Vegas there's all these pew pews that you they saw Yellowstone. Anyhow, she called that place, and the woman was like, you are the last Canadian reservation I have for the year. She's like, I have nothing on my books international. And she was like, really? She's like, yeah. And I was hearing from the hotels on the strips, like, they're a ranch outside of Vegas. She was like, we've been hearing from the strip, like, we just don't have Canadians. If they can pull out and get a refund, they are pulling out. They are not coming. Even the trade show people are saying, like, displays from Canada, companies from Canada are pulling out of the trade shows in Vegas. The trade show will still happen, but like, a lot of the Canadian companies are like, we don't need our table. How about a credit for maybe 2027? We'll see how you do then. I mean, they're not going to talk about it, and it's definitely not going to like improve home prices because banks and Zillow keep house prices where they are. So even if all Canadians pull out of American real estate, it won't drop house prices, but it will cause a problem for local economies. And I mean, New York, Vegas thrive on tourists. Canadians are big mad. If Canadians are canceling into 2027, they're big mad. Like, selling your home mad means we're not coming back anytime soon. The other day, I actually saw a TikTok. This guy in Toronto was in the freezer section, and everything in the freezer section now had the little Canadian flag on it. Like, everything in the freezer section was Canadian. You couldn't find an American product. I mean, it took a couple weeks. There's a little frustration, maybe your like whatever fish fingers don't taste quite the same, but like, it's amazing how easily and quickly a lot of people have pulled out of the US. But like, we're not really talking about it yet, and I think by the time the media gets around to talking about it, it's going to be far too late. And if Canadians are doing it, I assume Europeans are doing the same. Like, if I had a kid studying internationally in the US, I might consider letting you finish out the semester. We're like a month from the end of the semester, a month and a half. I don't know that I would let my kid go back to study in the US next year, so I think come September, when students don't come back and they're not renting student apartments, we will really see a problem. But I would also have my kid with like a Go fund at any time, like, take this money to the airport and leave. It's crazy that we're talking about this, but like, this is where we are, which is kind of crazy.